This is the New Eden update for Wednesday, May 4th, or may the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day, aka the day where everyone puts pictures of Gandalf on the internet and titles them as Patrick Stewart and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm Wiggles. Well, it's 2016, by the way. I'm Wiggles, and here's a roundup of a few stories from and around New Eden. First off, we are back from a holiday from some well-deserved rest and relaxation. So let's get into the swing of things. First off, we start at themitani.com with a post about two Titans getting downed. Massa in the Eridu region on April 28th at 1831 Eve time, an Erebus belonging to Lisengando was destroyed. The Titan exploded due to extremely heavy gunfire from 4 Titans and multiple dreadnoughts from Losec Sinkia Superlan, Heralds of Darkness and Axios. The pilot, who was previously a member of Finfleet within Northern Coalition, as many new or unsubbed Titan pilots come back to join the war effort, they tend to run into situations just as this. It is unclear to what actually did happen exactly. However, his fit allows us to assume that Lucian was moving his Erebus to join the war and got caught with the process, or caught in the process. The Erebus was noted to still having large Trimarch armor pump 2 rigs, meaning this was a very, very old Titan. 90 minutes after the Finfleet Erebus went down, another Titan exploded, and this time in the Malpais system of RUF 3 TAC 0. The Ragnarok, belonging to Commander X, or CMDRX is his actual character name, of Badfellas Inc., died with 3 Archons, 2 Dreadnoughts, and 2 Force Auxiliaries on a friendly pass. Unconfirmed reports stated that the Capital Fleet and Ragnarok were hitting the POS in a system when Volta, SMF, and Kick jumped in with 2 Nixes and a Blops gang of Cerberus Fleet. When the Titan and the Capitals warped up to a safe, they did so by warping to a small POS, causing him to bounce out of the POS to their deaths. Quick editor's note: don't use a small POS when you're going to warp to a safe. Use a large, or you know what? Use a Citadel, if you've got the money for it. But yeah, that's a stupidly big one. Next we go to EveNews24 for a post about the first low-sec Citadel being taken down, according to them anyway. With Citadels being the new addition to EVE Online World, it was only a matter of time before they started to go down. An Astra House Citadel belonging to General So's Alliance was destroyed by the combined forces of Shadow Cartel and Waffles in the low-sec system of Salin. Gremic, the fleet commander for Shadow Cartel, provided the details for the kill mail. According to Gremic, Shadow Cartel has a director-level spy inside General So's Alliance. That spy provided the details of what the Citadel was onlining and will be coming out shortly. After confirming the Citadel was online, the ping went out to form a fleet, and the fleet travelled to Saline. Once arriving on grid, a Waffles fleet had also arrived for the same purpose. Seeing as Waffles' fleet was outnumbered and outclassed by the ships, the FC Convo's Gremlik asked him to join the fun. As a member of General So's had recently, quote, popped a Shadow Cartel Sino, causing great anger, end quote. Who gets angry at a Sino? I don't know. Gremic agreed to the proposition. With the end result being for the first low-sec Citadel destroyed. General So attempted to form a defence fleet consisting of 5 Tristans and a Bifrost. 5 Tristans and a Bifrost? Really? But it failed to set up any defences on the Citadel and had no choice but to watch their recently online Citadel as it was quickly destroyed. This fight really... that quoted wrong? This fight really in execution? Anyway, this fight really in execution, there we go, highlights some of the mechanics of the new Citadels. The 15-minute timer to fit defensive modules to the Citadel makes it necessary to have a fleet on standby during this particularly vulnerable window. Now lastly today we hit up Crossing Zebras for a post about FanFest, and this one is from the perspective of the observer, aka someone who didn't go to Iceland. Quote, there is only one word that effectively describes EVE, and we've all heard it many times, whether in the community or in CCP's marketing materials or repeated by the peers, doing their best to cover the most momentous moments of the universe we inhabit. That word, of course, is sandbox, and I use that in inverted commas. If I ever had to explain EVE to someone in a few sentences, that word is featured prominently. It defines EVE and defines this community. It also defines FanFest. Now, I skipped it this year, placing my travel priorities elsewhere, but remained a part of the PL FanFest community, lurking on WhatsApp and keeping track of all the activities at my desk at work. And it struck me, having attended in the past 2 years, that FanFest itself mirrors EVE. FanFest and Iceland in general become our sandbox for the week. Over the past few days, my colleagues have been sharing their experiences of this year's FanFest from a variety of perspectives. Theirs are each unique and worth digesting, whether to reflect on your own experiences as well, or as an inspiration to the journey that to the Rock is just south of the Arctic Circle for yourself next year. Now, I realise sitting at home that FanFest and Iceland more broadly mirror EVE itself than their structure and appeal. It is perfectly possible to come to FanFest Thursday through Sunday and fill your time with sessions, programmed events, and have a fulfilling trip. Many people whom I've never met seem to enjoy doing that every year, and good for them. And it is also possible just to say fuck it. Editor's note, that was there, sorry for the language, and make your own adventure. Last year I ended up in an Icelandic hardware store day one looking for a toilet seat. Long story though. What mattered and what made it so much more fun for me than the previous year that I was making the choices as I wanted to do myself. FanFest for me was not only what CCP wanted it to be, but whatever I wanted to make of it. Elsewhere in related content, new blog posts are out today from Minxie about getting the right balance in EVE and Draken on the 85% of EVE and the roadmap. There's a whole host of new podcasts to listen to, but I do recommend listening to the final Podside, number 449. And yes, Podside's closing its doors for 6 months for a revamp. Plex prices today in the Forge region are interesting because, well, hell, shit's happened. The average trading price of Plexes right now is 941 million ISK, which is today up 6 million from yesterday's closing of 935 million. The top buy order in Jitter right now is 931 million and sell orders are starting at 983. Skill extractors are trading at 226 million, which is up 1 mil from yesterday's closing of 225. Buy orders for those are starting at 216 and sell orders are starting at 224. Skill injectors are trading at 596 million, which is down a big amount, 17 million from yesterday's closing of 613. Buy orders for those are starting at 576 and sell orders are starting at 604. Thank you to everyone who's chosen to support us on Patreon and this show, basically getting some value from it. If you do, and you're one of these people that like this show, and you want to give a little bit back, or even TotalEve.com, you like that, you want to give a little bit back, you can head over to patreon.com/wiggles to find out about how you can support this show monetarily. By basically, if you have a spare dollar or a pound or, a Bulgarian lev or whatever you have money-wise knocking around a month and you want to donate it, you can. You can do that at patreon.com. That helps out with some of the running costs like hosting and buying hardware and stuff. And this beautiful green screen behind me, but you can't see because... it's there, trust me. I'm not magically in Jita. If you can't support monetarily, I do understand that, and I do remind you that the easiest and best way to support is tell everyone about this show. Tell your friends, your court mates, your alliance mates, your dogs, your cats, even, opinion local, a random spamming local. Just say, go listen to the New Eden Update at newedenupdate.com. You can also find out about all the ways to support at newedenupdate.com/support. And because we do broadcast live on Twitch and on YouTube at the same time while we record for later on to put this out as a podcast, if you have feedback on that, you want to see anything different, you want to see some lovely charts or anything like that, let me know. Feedback at newedenupdate.com is the email address. You can also send us a tweet at New Eden Update. You can even put a comment on the blog post on newedenupdate.com where we release the episodes. I do also encourage you to check out our sister site, TotalEve.com. That's where you can find all the latest headlines and the podcasts and the blog posts and the dev posts and everything else out there in the world of EVE Online from all the big news sites, even Reddit posts and Twitter posts and everything like that to do with EVE. Very, very simple, very, very easy to use, TotalEve.com. This has been your New Eden Update for Wednesday, May the 4th, 2016. I am Wiggles. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for listening and watching. And you know what? Explode hilariously.